Hey, everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Hey everybody, it's Kat.
Climb on out of there. Get out of that waiting room, folks. Chandra wasn't here. She has a Memorial Day weekend celebration happening, so there were no snacks and coffee, but that's okay. You didn't
That's
have to wait
okay.
that long. Get out of that waiting room. Climb on into the elevator, folks. We're going to go up to the 10th floor, and along the way, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
What a big
Come on,
week.
happy Memorial
General
Weekend,
Hospital.
everybody.
Recap, reaction, podcast, General Hospital specific. As much as we can, at least.
Let me sneak some bologna in there, though,
Hey, it's not just us, though. We got a live open chat that's with us every single week, contributing to the conversation and giving us their reactions to the week of General Hospital as well. Carolyn is here, Kelly is here, and Rochelle and Jeannie just popped in. Hello.
Hey, Jeannie,
What's going on?
Rochelle,
Rochelle,
Kelly,
Carolyn, hello. Jeannie
I
says,
just, what
sad.
popped in my head right now? Like, with the magic mirror, I see Kelly. Romper room.
Tell us who
Is
are the
anybody
greatest
old enough to
fans.
know what romper room is?
I've
really
heard of
know.
it, so I'm sure the fans have as well. They probably know a bit more so than us, or me at least.
See Jeannie.
I like it. It's like mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the greatest fans of all? Carolyn, Kelly, Jeannie. Jeannie's familiar with the romper room, so you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. There's a romper room in Port Charles somewhere, I'm sure.
Yep, or at least there used to be.
Yes, in the magic garden with the mirror, says Rochelle.
Yes.
I don't know. Is this some like old time TV for kids or something?
Yeah, it was 5 days a week, syndicated Channel 2
Okay.
romper room.
All right,
Yeah.
one of those. See, if somebody came up to me and was like, "Oh man, this is so much like Eureka's Castle," I'll be like, "I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know that show. I know Eureka's Castle with all the puppets." Kelly is old enough, Mama Cat. So yeah, I guess there's a lot of familiarity out there. It must have been a show for kids that are younger than me. Channel 11 in Los Angeles, said Jeannie, or 13.
There you go.
Hey.
Channel 2 in the Bay Area.
Hey. Channel 2 was Fox for me. No soaps on Fox. No
Well,
soaps
back
on
then it
Channel
was just
2.
KTNVU.
There were soaps on Channel 4, Channel 5, and Channel 7.
Mm-hmm.
It was NBC, CBS, and ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on Fox, though.
No.
No, they decided we're not going to go the soap route.
No, they went the nighttime primetime route.
Yeah, they went,
They went, let's put Simpsons on route.
Yeah, Simpsons really put Fox on the map, didn't they?
That's what angered them.
Yeah, Simpsons. Channel 11 in New York City, says Rochelle. So, hey, hanging out on Channel 11 across nationwide. Everybody, you're going to find yourself the romper room in the 60s and 70s, I guess.
More in the 60s.
More the 60s.
Captain Kangaroo, too.
Oh, goodness. Well, none of these shows are being broadcast in Port Charles, let me tell you. Violet is not watching those. Violet is definitely on her Disney Channel Nickelodeon kick, watching whatever's going on there, as she tries to process. Well, gosh, this poor child. Okay, so her mother has run off and abandoned her.
Yes.
She just lost her grandpa
Greg. Deadbeat mother.
Lost her grandpa Gregory. And Finn is finding solace in the bottom of a bottle.
Yeah, I just found it a little interesting with the prop. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, he'd been hitting that bottle some. They had that much missing.
He's slow at it.
They should have poured some out every time they showed the bottle.
Well,
I'd have been a little more convinced.
Maybe, or maybe you're supposed to assume that it's a fresh one every time. He's just pounding him. He was. Elizabeth, I'm so drunk, I'm mean. He
was. I wouldn't call him mean at that moment, but extremely defensive.
Super defensive, right?
Super defensive. Not so much mean, but he was getting there.
Well, I mean, so we all know that Finn has a history with substances. It wasn't alcohol. It was a different one. I'm not sure how specific they were with his drug of choice, but it was a drug of some sort. That he was.
Well, he was shooting up whatever fictitious thing that he was shooting up.
Okay, so we were shooting up a fake heroin, essentially.
Basically, yeah.
It's just a heroin.
I remember they used to show this big old syringe that looked like you need to use it on a dinosaur.
I missed that portion entirely, so I'm gonna have to
Oh, well,
rely
they
on
used,
your
they,
memory and the chat's memory.
they used to use a big old, they would show, they never showed him shooting up, of
But they
course
would
not.
pull it. He pulls
But they
out the
would show the
syringe.
syringe and looked like something that you would possibly use to maybe inseminate a horse. It was
Like
giant.
comically large.
And a large. It was.
If the needle doesn't fill
You
my
guys
entire
remember
vein,
that,
it's not
don't you?
good enough.
But anyway, I saw a lot of folks on Twitter and stuff complaining about how, well, that alcohol wasn't the drug of his choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you've never had an addict in your life, well, God bless you. But addicts will trade. They will often trade to another, they
Mm-hmm.
they will battle this and win.
Yes.
But it could transfer to something else.
Yeah. You know, like even then, like so even when people are trying to get over their addictions, they'll pick up a hobby, but then that hobby is like hyper focused on as well. You know, it's still an element of addiction, even if channeled through something that might not be killing you anymore.
Right. And in fact, it may even, you could channel yourself into like Matthew said, being hyper focused on something. And maybe that's going to wind up being a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but still it's got an underlying of addictive behavior.
Right. And there didn't seem like there was any transference of that kind for Finn. You know, he seemed to have kicked his liquid drug habit and found himself in a normal spot. You know, as normal as he could be, totally aware of his failings and having to go to meetings to make sure he's on the straight and narrow. Oh, she's just so invisible today. I'm so sorry, Cynthia. It's just the white outfit and the porcelain skin just totally drowned.
Well, your head covers her up most of the time anyway.
Most of the time. Anyway. So yeah, so he's picked up the bottle, replacing that, trying to get over it. Cheaper.
It hurts
easier,
so hard.
Cheaper, easier to access. You know, you don't have to go to some sort of seedy alley on Charlie Street to come pick up your stuff. You can just go to the convenience store and feel better about your problem.
Oh, you can even have booze delivered by your grocery store now.
Absolutely, you don't even have to go anywhere.
You don't have to go. All you have to do is prove to 21 when they get to the door. That's all you got to do.
Oh gosh, Kelly says, "Whatever happened to Roxy? Somebody's got to check on Roxy." Okay, we gotta see what's going on with that lizard.
Roxy in a long time.
We can assume that she's safe upstairs in Violet's room or something.
She's in a terrarium. She's very lonely.
Finn has replaced Roxy's water dish with just a beer dish. Roxy too has fallen off the wagon. Melissa says that she watched the entire week yesterday and cried for so many hours straight she was exhausted. She had to shower just to get the puffiness down from her eyes over weeping over Gregory.
Well, that might have happened to me if I'd have watched it back to back, which I did not.
No.
I typically watch General Hospital daily.
And
then I rewatch Friday sometimes.
It was hard.
Like on Sunday mornings before I see y'all.
It was hard for me to convince myself to watch it. Because, like, I know what happened and I saw the reactions. I was fairly detailed on the events of the show before I have a chance to watch it myself. And it was still kind of dragging my feet a little bit, pushing the play button, not wanting to expose myself to such sad scenery.
But Matt, what you said about Gregory on Twitter is so dead on.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter, folks. Yeah. So the quality and the caliber of the performances from the people who have lost Gregory Chase speaks to how much they enjoyed Gregory Harrison.
Oh, absolutely.
And somebody replied to that saying that what's his name? Chase himself. You know, that guy. Swicky.
Yeah. Swicky. Swicky.
Swicky. Apparently he did an interview, I don't know, it was Fairman or somebody, or Soap Digest somewhere. He did an interview saying a lot of this wasn't acting, he said, because we genuinely loved Gregory, and it's really sad that he's not going to be working with us on the set anymore. So everybody from Violet to Finn to Chase to even Brooklyn, Tracy, of course, is a whole caliber on her own.
Yeah.
It's just, it's wild too. It is super wild because it really shows the ability of General Hospital to really bring the dramatics in a really quality way. Like the writing was there, and the acting was there, and the drama was there, and the tears from the audience was there, and the online reaction to it all was positive for the most part.
It was it was it was quite a tearjerker. It was. I cried some tears too on multiple episodes. I did. It was, oh my gosh. But the character got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah. So when it comes to listen, there's a lot. There's people out there. I'm one of them too. Like, oh, even you. You're like, oh man, I wish they didn't pick ALS.
Absolutely.
I wish they could have picked something that is curable in a non-controversial way.
Or something that can be managed.
Yeah, something that would prolong it. But here's the thing, though. This is the same exact reaction to Mike and his Alzheimer's. Was people really enjoyed the actor and the character, and the drama was being brought, and people were finally, falling into the rhythm of the story and finding the value of this character and the relationships that they have with other people when he's on the way out, and they're like, keep him, figure out a way, reverse the Alzheimer's, freeze it in this moment so he doesn't get worse. Something, figure it out. But ultimately, we can't do that.
I would love for them to be able to do that. I would love for them to be able to do that. However, I find it to be extremely disrespectful for people that are going through that real journey to not have it play out the way life would. It's incurable and it will kill you.
It was even
General
crunchy.
Hospital needs to quit picking diseases you die from, and you can't.
It was even a little crunchy with Willow's cancer, like that whole thing, and how she was stage 4, but never really looked it. Like little things there, like that GH minorly missed the mark when it came to Willow's cancer. We talked about it at the time. There was elements missing,
but they minorly missed it. They cured her in the way that really does cure people.
But yes, it wasn't. It was the blood marrow transplant and all of that helped her get it. But oof.
Anyway. So GH, you make sure that actor ain't somebody you want to cut loose.
And then when you do, you give them like Schrodinger's syndrome, right? Which is like not a thing that I know of, right? Like, oh, he's got Schrodinger's. That sounds like a real disease to me.
Yeah.
On soaps, they need to not use real life, not curable diseases, agrees Jeannie. But also at the same time,
you really want that fool off your set in 12 months.
Here's the thing. Here's you know how long Gregory Harrison was employed by General Hospital?
I'm going to guess, okay? I'm probably going to come up short, but I'm going to guess 2 years.
4 years.
He was there for 4 years.
He's been there for 4 years. Jackie Templeton showed up 4 years ago.
Wow.
So Gregory Harrison, on the show for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't believe it, right?
Well, they didn't, the first year of his time there, they didn't he wasn't on a lot.
No, he wasn't even really living in Port Charles at the time. He was kind of visiting sort of at the same cadence as Jackie. Yeah. And then eventually he got a job at PCU and then started working with Alexis. And that's really where it sort of hung in. So that 2 years that you're talking about is, a little more accurate when it comes to like deep story for Gregory. But when it comes to the actor being a part of the show, he's been a part of the show for 4 years. Guess how long Wes Ramsey was part of the show?
Now, what they could do, you guys.
4 years, mother. 4 years.
Yeah.
Seems to be a 4-year typical contract for somebody, right?
Seems to be. Now, what they could do, you guys, they can bring him back as a new character.
They can bring him back as a new character. They could bring him back as a ghost haunting Finn.
They could.
Remember when Alan stuck around with Tracy?
Yeah, Alan stuck around with Tracy. Actually, Alan did that twice. Not twice in like 1-2 times in 2 blocks.
He loved his mom.
Soon after his death, and then he did it sometime later too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, there's always ways that they could keep the actor around if they wanted to. But also at the same time, this is an impactful event for the other characters that are still around on the cast and canvas. There was a lot of rumors circulating around about 2 months ago that Finn is out, that they've made a decision when it comes to the future of Michael Easton. Easton,
Easton.
Michael Easton, and he's not
Hmm.
included in the plans for the future of General Hospital. So if
Hmm.
this is I mean, this seems like a fine vehicle for departure. He falls off the wagon a little bit, needs to clean himself up, leaves town.
It could.
Or he falls off so severely he abandons Violet, leaving her with no parents and only Elizabeth to raise her. I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out, but um, if they're leaning into a departure story, then this seems like an okay one,
It does.
you know.
It
So
does.
we'll see.
I
We'll see.
wonder what Rebecca Booting is doing currently, if anything, because it is a ripe time for Hayden to come back if they
Mm-hmm.
want to, if they choose to write it that way. And Rebecca is available. I don't think they ought to recast Hayden honestly. I really don't think they should.
Yeah.
They could, but I don't think they should. Um, but Rebecca Booting coming back right now would be perfect, actually, and it would give Elizabeth a story that doesn't central around a dude.
I mean, when is Elizabeth not in a story that doesn't send her around a dude? I mean, it's not like a
That's
new
right.
hat for her, right?
Wouldn't that be something to have her have a story that doesn't just revolve around her love interest at the time? So she could have like a battle with her sister over Violet.
I see, I see, I
Oh my
see.
gosh, it broke my heart. You guys, I know you all felt the same way.
Yes.
When Violet ran into Grandpa's room
Mm-hmm.
and in her shocked mind, for sure Grandpa was going to be in there.
Yes.
Oh
But no.
man, it's heartbreaking.
Yes, yes, yes. Continue to hand award nominations to Violet. You know, like Jovial Love may be the inspiration for reintroducing the young actor category next year at the Emmys. Um, you know, she's a little powerhouse. And listen, so
He did great.
she's a little powerhouse out there, and there's a contingent of fans that really, really, really don't like her, right? A lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't like Finn, and so that bleeds into his family. But on top of that, too, I find, and you can be offended by this if you'd like, I'll let you. I find that people are jealous of talented children. It's like, look at this
Maybe
skill that this kid has that I can never imagine myself even getting close to. What a B word. Like,
now this is what I took offense to this week when it came to Jophiel.
mm-hmm.
Not to her. She's a talented little child. You know, just a child, human child.
Yes.
Come on. I took offense to folks making fun of her singing.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to auto tune this kid?
Yeah, yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Big,
Blah blah blah.
big prop.
Blah blah
Big prop.
blah.
Nobody has anything snide to say about Cameron. Nobody's got a problem with William Lipton out there strumming his guitar and singing for no reason. Oh, Franco and Elizabeth's anniversary, I'm going to sing a song. Like, that's a violent move, folks. That is a violent move. And you loved it. You loved it when William Lipton did it, but you don't like it when Jovial Love does. And that's because you're jealous. It's because you're jealous.
Well, and okay, and yes, is the level of talent different? Yes, of course it is. But we haven't seen Jophiel at 17 or 18 years old either. Perhaps she'll be just as good as William by then.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps she will. I just don't. Us full-grown adults do not need to make fun of an 8-year-old child.
No, not at all. Not at all. Especially when
people.
they are doing amazing work on the screen.
And you know what I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled about. I don't think anybody here on the 10th floor, anybody that gets into our elevator, did that crap.
No. When the people who come to the 10th floor enjoy the show for what it is. We ignore what we don't like about it, and I think that the people in the chat do so as well, for the most part.
Well,
the people that would come in on the chat to be all like, "Oh, well, I don't like Laura," like, stopped coming. You know. Like the chat is no longer inundated very often. I mean, every once in a while, Daisy will show up with an alternate point of view. Jacarius as well at times, and other people, of course. And it's not 100% accepted or whatever. when it comes to the chat. But the people who would just come in to just always take the opposite side of whatever it is that we're talking about, they just stopped coming.
Well, we weren't playing their
No,
game.
not really. People kind of looking for a little fight sometimes, a little like
Yeah.
debate me energy, right?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I hope Violet gets a story, says Melissa, showing how she is not coping well with another person leaving her, even if it's death. Hayden left her, and now Gregory. What's next? Finn? Seems like it, Melissa, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, so we already have Elizabeth, kind of trying to run interference a little bit when it comes to,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, all right, Finn, you can do whatever the heck you want, essentially. Like if you want to get smashed and drunk, that's totally okay. We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago about how we're just going to keep things cash. All right, I'm not gonna get into the deep end when it comes to this with you, because we discussed we don't want to get into the deep end with each other anymore. We just want a bone, right?
I tell you, the only mistake Elizabeth made, she should not, even though it's her friend, and I understand she was hurting herself, but she shouldn't have confided in Portia. And the only reason why she shouldn't have confided in Portia is because Portia is co-head of chief of staff. Now, Portia probably, her emotional side of her brain, her friend of Elizabeth's side of her brain,
Mm-hmm.
probably does not want to do anything but support the two of them and try to help. But her chief of staff part of her brain is saying, what if he comes to work drunk and hurts somebody and I'm liable because I've known about this?
Mm-hmm.
I know he's fallen off the wagon. I know he's having a hard time dealing. I know that Finn may not be really Finn when he walks in the door. That might be
Mm-hmm.
Finn on,
Could be drunk Finn.
drunk Finn. Bad judgment Finn.
Drunken.
No, bad
Drunk.
judgment Finn.
Drunk.
Make a medical mistake Finn.
Yes.
That's who might come off the elevator.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So I understand why Portia might be probably going to blow the whistle on him, because she kind of has to.
Well, there's a difference between being drunk at home and being drunk at the hospital. Huge difference. So,
and if she were just another doctor, just another colleague.
I get it. It might make Portia pay attention a little more, but if something were to go down, it's not because Elizabeth told Portia or because Portia's a bitch. It's because Finn showed up to work drunk.
Yes.
So there's really no way to cut that. Could Elizabeth have picked a different audience? Maybe, but ultimately,
Sure.
Whether or not Elizabeth said so to Portia that he fell off the wagon or not, him showing up drunk would be spotted by somebody anyway.
Yes. Him showing up drunk would be catalyst whether anybody was told or not.
But telling Portia does put Portia on an alert, so she can look for something or maybe make a mistaken interpretation of something, which could cause a problem, which could also lead to a Finn departure. It just really seems like we're lining things up for the truth of Mike Leaston's actual departure from the show.
I think there's a good chance of it.
Given what's going on here and the fact that he has been so sober for so long and now he is not, is a big indication of a highly potentially show leaving story.
And even though Chase poured the bottle down the sink on Friday and Finn left and said he was going to go find a meeting.
Yes, we'll see if he actually does that.
We'll see if he actually does it. He might go by the liquor store on the way to that meeting and pull in instead.
Mm-hmm.
He might.
Mm-hmm.
He might.
Yeah.
He is feeling so much pain, so much hurt, so much grief, so much regret.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he and Gregory had that last scene, and their last scene wasn't them bickering.
Mm-hmm.
Their last scene was Gregory kissing him goodbye on his forehead.
Yeah, so he got the goodbyes. It was painted on the wall that Gregory was not going to wake up in the morning. There was flashbacks. His happiest moments flashed before his eyes as he went to bed. As we talked about, as you had just mentioned on this podcast today, when it comes to the Gregory Harrison character part of this story, 100% perfect. Who could think of a better way to go out? Not only did he achieve his last lifelong goal, which was to attend the wedding and also be the officiant and play his
Mm-hmm.
part and make it to the end. He had some wonderful relationships that he built with Alexis and Tracy by the time he was able to go. He didn't deteriorate to somebody who couldn't move and speak and be involved and have a relationship with his family. That's something that he was really terrified
He was terrified
of
of not
facing
being
that.
able to take care of his own body.
Right. So while, yeah, it
Terrified.
was uncomfortable, yes, he had health challenges. He couldn't breathe on occasion. He had to use a cane. It was difficult for him to walk and grasp things, but it didn't get to the extreme that ALS can.
No.
It didn't rob him of being able to have experiences that his mind still wanted that his body couldn't produce. So when it comes to Gregory's part, what a way to go. And I think there was an element of Finn understanding that as well. His hesitation going into the room, for example. It's like, my dad isn't up yet. Let me just drink some coffee. Let me do this. Let me do that before going in there to find what I know I'm going to find. You know? Look at
I
you.
I live with a very elderly person.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that experience, but didn't find them in the state Gregory was in, luckily.
Yeah.
I've had that same experience. It's late. Why isn't she up yet?
Mm-hmm.
I've had that same experience multiple times because I live with an 89-year-old person.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, I find her in there doing a crossword or looking at TV every time.
She's doing her thing. Just doing her thing. Just doing her thing.
Doing her thing.
Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Just doing her thing, yeah. So I mean, it's one of those real life things that people,
Yes.
in the real world may or may not have to experience at some point in their life. Um, but Finn knew, and he went in there, and then the way that he kind of like held his look, and you can see the tearness in his eyes, but he didn't. To me, at least, your own interpretation of it is your interpretation. But to me, he did not become this unconsolable, blobbering mess in that moment.
I think it was so true to life. I
Like
really
there
do.
was understanding, there was loss, but then also at the same time, underneath that, Michael Easton, you were brilliant for this, because underneath that, I really could see the understanding, like even now in his stuff, he's not like, I can't believe my dad is dead. He didn't deserve this. He had 20 years left. Like there was none of that. It's just, I am so heartbroken that it is over now. Like this was the day that was coming, and I am broken that it was. And it's not, I wish we still had 2 more years of him deteriorating. It is the fact that it's done. And it's, oh,
Oh, it was so good. I mean, it was good to watch, but it was hard to watch.
So here's the thing. The wedding bumped up the viewers, all right? The JH did not lose momentum or steam. They gained a little bit from it. It wasn't a full recovery. They didn't get the 200,000 that stopped or anything. But there was a little bump for the wedding.
I
Awesome. I'm sure there's going to
I
be another bump for this week as well. Probably a bigger
I
one.
loved actually how GH did it. I loved that they left the wedding and the reception whole.
Yeah, there was just a fight.
There was a fight that everybody was gone for.
Yeah.
Almost everybody had went home.
Yeah, it was pretty much just Sonny and his cronies left, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, the Sorrels didn't run in there. What's going on? And they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Most of them had already went over to the mansion, hit the after party. They were already gone. So I love that they left the wedding and reception whole and not with a big traumatic disappointment at the end of it. It's unfortunate that Chase and Brooklyn didn't get to go on their honeymoon. It's unfortunate that that happened, but I just thought it was all beautifully done. I really
Yeah,
really
yeah. The
did.
wedding was lovely, and really, the end of Gregory's life was also gorgeous. The immediate reaction from his children has been great. Tracy nailed it. People found problems with the editing, the pacing of Tracy. Tracy had a great relationship with Gregory Chase. The main thing about Gregory and Tracy's relationship that sold it so well was not necessarily what they were talking about or the bonding that they had. Yes, there were moments of like, oh, Tracy, look at your humanity in there that Gregory can find. But for the most part, the friendship that they had, like, deep but not impactful when it comes to the words and the situations that they found themselves in. But Jane Elliott and Gregory Harrison were so good together that it seemed like they were the best friends and lovers of all time. But that wasn't necessarily the relationship that they had. It's just the
Right.
relationship we wanted them to have.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, Tracy, while important to Gregory, was important to Gregory for 2.5 months. And not the person that needs necessarily the sole point of view over losing another lover. I'm brokenhearted just like losing Luke. It's not that.
No.
It's not that. What
It's
a
not
what a
that.
great person who's left us.
Mhm.
What a good man that I got to hang out with, but not, oh my gosh, I didn't get a chance to boff him before he went, you know?
No.
Nothing like
No, but
that.
like, she did in a way get to actually have a chance to do this, not at the very, very end, but she did have a chance to do this. And I think he knew it. And I think she did tell him this too, to a certain degree. You know, he had a great influence on her as a person, as a human being.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
And
the softer side of Tracy was
Mhm.
pulled out by Gregory.
Yes. Yeah. And it was just
You
due
know?
to his good persistence, like his persistence
Yes.
and goodness.
For a lot of people, you know,
He was
a
also
lot
not
of
afraid to
folks,
tell her the
they
truth.
get an episode of Tracy and they're gonna be, oh, there she is, gonna turn around and we'll go the other way. We don't want another encounter with Tracy.
Nah,
But Gregory kept on, you know,
yeah. It's like,
giving
hey,
her a chance.
yeah, I'm just keep
Giving
doing
her
this.
a
Listen,
chance and giving her a chance.
I've seen a few pretentious people in my day, Tracy, and I know that that's just a mask. Let's get behind that, shall we? And that's what he did. Gregory was good
Yeah.
for Tracy, and Tracy was good for Gregory, says Kelly, and I can't agree more.
But it appeared to me though when they did him running through the film strip of his life,
Mm-hmm.
the girl that had was making his eyes sparkle was Alexis in that way.
Yeah, he's the one. She's the one he kissed after
Yeah.
skydiving. He didn't kiss Tracy. Tracy's just a really good friend. And I get it from the audience point of view. We loved Jane Elliott and we loved watching the scenes that they had together. But she wasn't involved in his flashbacks. She wasn't. She did. She got point of view. We got how she felt. There was scenes and reaction, but we didn't necessarily get Ned walking into the stable and telling her what happened. You know, it kind of got, it was jumbled a little bit and a little confusing there in the edit as to when exactly Tracy was told. But all of that is irrelevant to the reaction that we did get to see.
I thought it was lovely. I thought it was lovely they actually used Cody because now, and I think we already saw it. There's going to be a bond between Tracy and Cody.
It's been kind of forming a little bit as well because to a degree, Cody is kind of another Gregory, kind of a younger Gregory in how he talks to Tracy and how he approaches her. He's very real with her. And I think that's something that Tracy talked about in previous scenes too. I don't know if it was exactly about Gregory or just about life, but there's a lot of people that just are super nice to Tracy all the time because of her power and her money and her ability to
or
connect.
avoiding her.
Or avoiding
Only
her.
nice or avoiding her.
Right, but Gregory and Cody aren't those personality types. They're not avoiding her, and they'll tell her the truth, and then Leo's picking it up to her. He's like, you're mean, Granny. Like,
Oh yeah, James will set her straight too, and he's only 5.
Yeah, minus the romantic component, Tracy and Gregory had the same respect and acknowledgement of each other that Tracy had with Alan in private, says Melissa.
See that?
Okay. All right. Every single time Melissa says the name Cody, she writes Cody with a T. I don't know if that's a joke or if just a typo, because every time, and then she deletes the message. Hugs for everyone, says Melissa. Just hugs for everybody. I love the way that Cody broke the news to Tracy and the talk that they had after.
Yeah,
Because Ned said, I'm going to go and tell my mom in the stable. And then suddenly we have a scene 2 days later of Cody and Tracy talking about it. It confused some people, But, oh God, just good stuff. And I love the use of Josh Kelly. I think that Elizabeth Cortez uh, knows and understands the caliber of performer that Josh Kelly is. And now that she has a little bit more influence on the story, he's getting these kind of bigger beats and time with other characters and a place kind of in the Quartermain family that he didn't have before.
And he's about to get a place in the Scorpio
He's
family
about to
too.
really be anchored into the cast, and there were people saying, "Oh, well, maybe this is Cody and Sasha's time to leave," and it's possible. Sure. There's kind of a half door open. They're sort of in a place where they could be like, "Let's move to Michigan," you know, but also at the same time, he's about to get majorly anchored into the families of Port Charles, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think that Cody and Sasha are safe. Yeah, I think if anything, the rumors that Ava's on the way out is a little more likely. So rumors, Mara
Well,
West, for the last 2 weeks now. First it started with a blonde actress that you love is out. And now we have a name, potentially Mara West, entering her phase out story currently.
really? I haven't heard that.
Well, she's messed with
That's
Sonny's
sad.
meds. She has reported Alexis. She's responsible for Alexis's legal woes and the relation. She exposed the relationship that she had with Neil, causing Alexis to lose her license, and now she's dealing with Fergus and all of that.
She about to get her ass kicked right over to Ryan's Hope to to the bar, meet up with her mama.
So, I mean, it's all rumor. We don't work there. We don't know these people. We don't know what the actual fact of
We
anything
don't know.
is.
We
But,
don't know.
people who
And
think that
actually,
they're in the know have said,
actually, that doesn't please me. I love the character
oh,
of
yeah.
Ava. Even half the time I love to hate her, and half the time I'm rooting for her.
Hmm.
And Maura West is just phenomenal.
She's great. She is great. But also at the same time, it is good to let a character rest. It is good to give an actor a break. We don't even know, like, if it is true, which we don't even know if it is. But if it was true, we don't even know why. It's entirely possible that the contract is coming up and Mara went, I want a break.
Well,
I know somebody who
I
left
don't
the
know
show.
how old. I don't know how old her children are. Maura West got a whole house full of kids.
Yeah,
Got
maybe
5 kids.
maybe she's busy. Maybe she wants to go be a grandma for a second. Like there's any number of different things that could be leading into it, or it could be a total story-based, show-based, executive-based decision. The whole point is we don't know. I personally
Maybe
know
she's not
somebody
going
who
anywhere, and she's gonna be right here.
I know somebody who worked for the show and walked away from the show and has come back to the show. Like, sometimes people just need a mental break, you know? So, we'll see. We'll see what the truth of it is. We'll see what actually happens. But as it stands right now, yeah, she's collecting a couple of enemies. People love to start leaning into the who done it story. Like it's come up a lot over the last 5 years. Oh, this character's on the way out. They're gonna get killed, and we're gonna have a who did it story because they have so many enemies. It hasn't happened yet, though.
No,
We know who killed Peter. I mean, the only person we don't know who done it is Austin.
that's true.
Daisy.
And we don't know who bought the mansion.
We don't know who bought the mansion yet, and maybe that's going to be something that leads to a departure. Maybe it's Julian. I don't know.
Who knows?
But
They do keep on bringing up his dang name lately, don't they?
well, yeah. I mean, he was connected to Alexis, and I would imagine. I guess the Julian aspect would be an inspiration for Ava to have reported Alexis. I'm not really sure what else was going on between them at the time that might have inspired that. Other than, listen, I'm just getting back at you over this whole Julian sitch. You could have helped him. Now he's dead or something. I don't know.
Well, I
We're
do.
gonna have to let Ava tell us.
People are very speculative about whether or not Alexa's going to get her law license back. Of course she is. They wouldn't be spending all this time on the
Yeah,
story.
she's gonna get it back. She's gonna get it back. And then this Fergus guy, who's her Santa Barbara co-star, right? From before.
Yeah.
And
Fergus Byrne.
The two actors, Nancy Legrand and that guy. Santa Barbara stars together, and they were romantically linked to their characters and had some good romantic chemistry that people liked. But that's not what we're getting this time. They've already said so. They've said so in interviews. No. We're going to play the other end of the chemistry that Nancy and I have, the antagonistic side of things.
Yeah, and I don't think that feller's going to be on the show long.
He's not going to be on long. So he was cast. It was announced, and people went, "Why are they doing this? How dare they offer this man a contract?" He's going to be on for 2 weeks. He's going to be on for this little stint. It's going to be the end of the Byrne family story. Alexis will collect some sort of important, valid, vital piece of information against Ava, and then that is where things are going next.
And
Plus,
then, and they have to give Alexis back her law license for
yes,
her face, be a lawyer with her daughter.
not even then.
Posing.
No,
Posing, right?
absolutely not. That is not what's going to happen. 0% chance a lawyer with her daughter. Her daughter is an ADA. She doesn't work for a law office.
No, but I think they're going to face each other in court.
Oh, yeah, that's not working together. No, that's facing off against one
Well,
another.
that's what I meant.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay. Yeah,
She has to get her law license back to face her daughter in opposing counsel.
Yes, and
That's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be difficult, honestly. Like when it comes to accepting that plot point as logical, it will be a little challenging. Because if you want to apply logic to it, there ain't no way Diane is going to risk the case that her firm is doing by having families face each other as opposite lawyers. Like in real life, that is too big of a conflict of interest.
You got to take that conflict of interest thing that is going to like come into your brain over and over and over.
And you got to pull it
during
out.
this.
Pull it out like a thread.
Yep.
Just pull it out and toss it aside.
You have to put it in it's a soap opera pile.
Yeah, so you just accept her for what it is. She has to. She's got no way around. Or morally, she can't say no. Whatever it might be, just accept her what it is. Whatever reason they tell you, because they will tell you a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Ava's going to tell you the reason why she did this to Alexis. Wait, because I saw some immediate reaction out there. How could Ava do this? Why would she do this? I don't understand why Ava would ever do this to Alexis. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Why would she do this? And my only answer to those people is to just watch the show and find out what they tell you rather than spinning yourself in circles ahead of time.
Ava and Nina both have huge history of being their own worst enemy.
Absolutely. They are constantly in their own way due to nefarious decisions.
Always. Always.
That man played Xander Smith's father. Liz named Cameron after him. Okay.
Yes, I did not recognize that, but yes, did read it. Yes.
Well, yeah, Melissa marrying us. Informing us. Jeannie says that they were married on Santa Barbara, Julia and Mason. Matt, keep up with Mama Cat's logic. I will, Kelly. I'm going to keep right up with it because she's got the soap logic. She's had her finger on the soap pulse for a long time. She knows how these things work way better than I do. I just nerd out about writing and acting. Back to Fergus Byrne playing Cameron's namesake grandfather. Okay, cool. Is it? I don't know. It's fine. I don't think it's necessarily a problem or anything like that.
It's certainly not a problem for me because I wouldn't have even known it if I didn't read about it.
And if it was, it was 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, and I know a lot of folks are more in tune with that than I am. And will recognize that sooner. Where I could very well not write, not unless it's like really obvious.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to say, oh yeah, Eva LaRue was Maria Santos.
Right.
It's not the same kind of,
But it's not the same thing. Not the same thing.
Not the same.
No. And even then, as Xander Smith's father or whatever, or grandfather or whatever, Cameron's grandpappy. How deep or long would that story have even been? I never even heard of it.
No, I'm sure I'm sure he didn't have like he
wasn't on the opening credits.
No, and I'm sure he didn't even have a mainstay in the storyline.
Yeah. So it's an actor. Really, it's this fun thing about a memory of a soap fan, right? They want their memory to be rewarded. Like they want to be rewarded for remembering what you did. I was invested. I remember the details of these stories that you told before, and I want to be rewarded for that memory by you recognizing the fact that I remember and not changing it up on me. I totally get it. Also at the same time, though, watch Law & Order SVU from season 1 to season now and count how many times they've used the same actor for a different character, please. It's normal. It's common. Watch sci-fi. Watch a sci-fi franchise. Watch the 3 series of Stargate. And you know what you're going to find? The same face on all three shows playing different characters. Dominic Zamprogna, for example, was an alien on Star Trek, Stargate Atlantis, playing a young, like 17-year-old kid. He remembers doing it sick as hell while
Mm-hmm.
filming it. Fast forward a couple of years later, he is now an Earth human science political man on Stargate Universe for an episode. They're actors. They come in for a job, is what it is. But also, I get it. You want to be rewarded for your memory. I want to be rewarded for my memory. But if your memory is not like a steel trap and you're able to forget some stuff, the show really is easier to watch.
Really?
Like if you don't remember, like I didn't know this thing. If I had
Me either.
no clue about who
Either.
who who Cameron's grandfather is, right? So it has no impact on me. The fact that they use the same face. But somebody who wants their memory rewarded is going to maybe have a negative reaction to their memory not being rewarded. Cameron died in the Port Charles hotel fire. Well, there you go. There you go. Sanders' dad, Cameron. Santa Barbara had the best writing, says Daisy. No, he was on for years, replacing Kevin as the GH psychiatrist. He was in the main cast. I have never seen this person in the opening credits of General Hospital, folks. And let me tell you what. Let me tell you this. I watched all of the opening credits for General Hospital.
You have?
Because I'm a dork like that. I have watched the year over year of those faces passing through, and if he was a part of the flip or the opening, I implore you to please share that with me because I want to see. If he was never a part of the opening, like that one doctor, that old chief of staff dude that was dating Monica, or the judge, for example, and then like this older doctor who's a black guy with white hair, he's kind of tall. I don't remember his name.
Neither.
Like these people have been a part of the show for a long time. Felix has never been a part of the opening flip.
No.
Amy, yes, has, but not Felix.
Yes,
Ooh,
she has.
interesting.
She
Interesting.
has.
Hmm? Amy
She
has.
has
Not
been on.
Felix though. Very interesting. Interesting note there. I'm just saying there are people who've been a part of the show, for example, that might have been a part of the show for a long time that I still probably wouldn't even consider main cast member.
Actually, speaking of photos and flip and the photo flip and all that
Mhm.
stuff, um, I saw they just did a bunch of new. They just did a photo shoot of everybody
Yeah.
for most of everybody anyway. So we're going to see some new faces on the flip soon. And I've seen some pictures. A lot of them are very good.
Yeah, so yes, so there was a question in there. Hey, Queen of the South, how you doing? Somebody asked, who was it? No, let me try to find that up there. Somebody. Stephanie, maybe? No. Rochelle, perhaps? I don't know. Somebody, some person in the chat, said, hey, did they take new pictures? And the answer is yes, they did.
Mhm.
There's a lot of new pictures, and I would like to at some point go onto this channel and do a little talkerino about them, flip through them, and discuss. So keep an eye out for that in a skinny dip, I'm sure.
Yep.
Because yeah, they're good photos. They're really good photos, and some people
Yeah.
didn't have them before. Other people have updated ones now, and
Mhm.
I don't know if we're gonna get a whole revamped starting, but the headshots that we're looking at might change.
I actually, I'm not opposed to them getting away from the flip. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, just kind of updating it to something else instead
something,
of with a
something new,
slide.
something fresh.
Something new. I'm with it. I'm with it. Gio will probably be in the photo flip. Probably. He's on contract, so there's no. So yes, he will be. Because if you're on contract, you're guaranteed to be in the starting. It's part of getting your. It's a perk. It's a perk. It's a
Well,
credit.
they didn't mention him by name, but Lois said something about him, and looks like Gio's going to come live in the mansion. Because they alluded to that without mentioning his name, saying, "Oh, did you warn him about Tracy yet?"
Yeah, of course he's gonna come hang out. He's gonna go to PCU or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monica's okay with it. Did you warn him about Tracy yet? Not yet, but he's gonna get one
Fine.
quickly.
He's gonna stumble in with no shirt or something, and some person's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, he's so scrawny. I love it." That kid's probably built. I'm sure he's just a brick house underneath that shirt.
This is what I think they ought to do with him just a little bit. Of course, I haven't seen him enough to even have a minute opinion of his acting abilities.
Right.
They need to cut his hair and give him a little more a style that makes him look a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think they should need to change his look. And if they do that and change his hair a little bit, they could age him a couple of years.
Right. 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 It was Daisy. Daisy said that Mara took new photos, so she doubts she's going anywhere. But I have something to tell you, Daisy, and you're not going to like it. They put up pictures, all of the pictures that they took, and then immediately took one down because somebody didn't get a memo that this person is no longer a member of the cast. As Enzo DeAngelis took pictures as one young Mr. Weber, and promptly was replaced by another actor before the photos were launched. So he wound up having his face uploaded onto the ABC Press website, which is where all these pictures are found for anybody. There is no special access. There is no code. There is no money. There is no dollar signs. There is nothing exchanged other than somebody paying attention to when this website is updated. All right. So I'll even link it to you. Because I don't want you to think that whoever's sharing this stuff and you're finding it for the first, I don't want y'all to think that they have some sort of exclusive access that you don't. You have access to all this stuff. With that said, Enzo DeAngelis uploaded with everybody else and taken down within like 15 minutes because somebody saw, oh, hey, Enzo's not a part of the cast anymore. Take him down, please. So the status, the future, whatever it is, doesn't matter. If you're on the cast, they took a picture of you on that day.
If you were there, and not every single person was there.
Not everybody was there. You know, Tristan, for example. We don't have a new picture of Tristan. No new picture of Leslie. You know, and those are just two examples. I'm not sure Scotty was there. I don't think we got a new Ken Schreiner.
Yeah, we did.
We did? See, I have to go through them again. Because, listen, it was like 49 cast members or something, or 39 cast members. Like, there's a lot of actors on the show.
Yeah.
So, I saw it on Laura Wright's Instagram, says Daisy. Well, there you go. So, Laura also probably got a notice or an email from her agent saying, hey, by the way, these new pictures are up if you want to share them around. Because these pictures are meant for us to use and consume for absolutely free. They want you to take these pictures and share them around and use them and use what they call key art, which is the cast in front of the TVs and stuff. That's what they want you to use when you're talking about GH on your website and stuff. So that's totally easily accessible and free to access. And there's a library that goes back several years. I found some fun pictures of Maxie and Peter. You know? Jeannie says that Tristan is back to taping, and I'm happy about that. That doesn't surprise me because we got Mac is back as well, and you can't really have Mac come back without some sort of.
I tell you, I love a scene with the Scorpio brothers. I do.
Nunu Molly actress was hawking rash cream from Big Pharma on my Hulu during the show. Says Melissa. Well, there's another example of you seeing the same actor in multiple roles, right?
I saw the commercial with Yeah, she's in Molly is in a commercial for prescription medication. I saw it.
So there you go. I saw shoot. Was it
remember Brando had a commercial that was on?
Yeah, Brando. He was on some sort of I don't have herpes and I'm jogging for it commercial. You know, I think I've seen, you know, congratulations, Julian, you know, Will
Dry.
Will Dry, yeah, Will Dry. He's having himself a little Hallmark career now.
Good for him.
Yeah, he did like 2 or 3 of those romantic comedies now.
Good for him. That's
so
good.
You know, follow what Will Dry is up to. You know, he's doing some really cool Hallmark stuff. Falling in love again and again in different locations.
Again and again and again.
Again and again. Different face, different brunette actress. But you know what? I'm going to love her. I'm going to love her the way that she needs to be loved. Like a gentle man.
Hey, you guys. So we mentioned at 9 o'clock when we were doing Days for Dummies, but we'll tell you here on the 10th floor for sure. Looks like Matthew and I, there's a very good chance. Cross your fingers with us. There's a very good chance we're going to be on the red carpet in about a week and a half.
We're hoping. I shook it loose. I shook the application, the request loose. I knocked on the biggest tree that I could find and said, hey, what the heck is going on? And I was pointed in a direction. I went in that direction. I was sent what I needed. So I filled that out.
and he inquired 24 hours before the gate was going to close.
Indeed. I'm like, hey, what's happening with this thing? And they're like, hey, fill this out. You've got until noon tomorrow. Right?
That's what happened. So
yeah.
There's a good chance the 10th floor will gonna have a chance to talk to Wally Kurth about his nomination as being.
So we had 0% chance last week, right? And now this week, there's a percentage. I don't know what that percentage is, but it's not 0 anymore. It could be 2. Not. It could be 99. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's not 0.
And I already put together my accommodations for the fact that we were going to get to go.
Yeah.
I don't have to scramble. I already have it in place.
Everything's cool. Burbank? Downtown? Where you at?
You're in the same place.
Just right there again?
They're the Bonaventure again.
No. Where are you going to be?
Oh, I'm going to be at the carriage house like usual.
Right there?
Yeah.
Right there?
The carriage house where I'm always at.
When I come right there. House. The one down the street.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. That's far away from your other plans. Whatever.
You know what, Matthew? It doesn't matter where Daddy and I stay. We're going to have to more than likely come to your house, pick your ass up anyway.
Maybe.
So, doesn't kind of matter.
Maybe. Gio and Trina would be adorable. Trina mixing it up with the Carrillo crew. I believe that's the plan, Melissa. I do. Mama Cat, you better get that dress ready, says Rochelle.
I got something. I don't have to buy nothing this time. You know what I noticed last time? Even though it matters to me because I have to feel good about I don't dress for other people, I dress for myself. But I did find out you can look as janky and press as you want. Nobody gives a damn.
Yeah, if you're not front-facing camera.
No one cares.
Yeah, you can be in cargo shorts and a ripped t-shirt and people are going to be like, oh.
As long as you have a lanyard that says press on it, they don't care.
Yeah, we're going to look great because that's what we do.
Because that's what we do.
Because that's what we do. We could be standing in the darkest corner in the back and still look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Jacket,
because
shirt.
I'm going to try to get anybody from the General Hospital cast to talk to us. And unfortunately, they are not heavily nominated this year.
Not this time around. We're going to see who comes through, who wants to hang out and support their nominated cast and such. But, whatever. I like talking to the Days people anyway.
I do too.
Well, Melissa, go ahead and talk about it. Call up one of your friends and talk about it. Okay? Call them up right now. Melissa. Melissa's making demands in the chat.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Well?
She's tired of us talking about the Emmys and she wants us to talk about other things.
Enough, we will.
She's using swear words. She's threatened to hit you, Mom.
Not Melissa.
Nah, I'm lying. She wasn't that mean. No, she wants to talk about the amazing performance that Kate Mansi has been giving. Just watch the last couple of weeks of the 10th floor. We talk up Kate Mansi like crazy.
You know what? It's Kate Mansi's done a great job. She really has. She really has. And I have to give her a lot of credit because she's shining through not the best storyline in the world.
No, it's kind of an awkward, weird story. Kind of awkward, weird story. Kelly knows I will be nice. Melissa knows I'm just giving her S. She knows it. Kelly, I will be nice, though. I promise. For the rest of the show, I'm going to be nice.
I'm not.
Yeah. Kate Mansi, yeah. She's shining through on kind of a weird, awkward, weak story. We all knew where it was going with the whole "it's really my baby" thing. From day one, we knew that there was going to be a big ol' issue between Molly and Christina regarding this child and who it's going to belong to. Truly, we knew. And we're getting to the point now where we have to trug along for 9 months until this baby is viable to be born for us to get into the meat of that story. So in the meantime, yeah, is a little weird and awkward and uncomfortable and lame to a degree because we all know where it's going and we're just waiting for it to get there.
Now, it'll be interesting to see when are they going to pull the trigger on that? Is Christina going to, before she has the child, go, oh no, this is my baby? Or is she going to push the little booger out, have him in her arms, have him in her arms, and then
we will have to see.
They might come into the room with the papers in their hand, trying to like hand her the papers and have her hand off the baby, and she's like, oh, it could turn it would be high drama for it to be that way.
So I agree with Jeannie. And Melissa is eating her dry corn checks in the corner, feeling sad over my isolating of her. I hurt her feelings. She'll get over it, though. Another 15-pound. Yeah. So I agree with Jeannie with what she said there, where she will have a premature child. So yeah. This is not going to go full 9 months. This baby's coming out here in the next couple of weeks, really. And then they're going to blame the stress, this, that, or the other stuff. TJ might yell at her and it's going to make her water break, or she's going to feel a pain or something, have to rush to the hospital and have this baby. This baby's going to be in an incubator for 4 to 6 weeks as Molly and Christina and TJ all go in and out, worrying about the future, the health, the success of this baby. And by the time that sequence is over, Christina is going to be like, I fucking hate both of you. This child is mine.
I think it's going to be something like that too. I do.
Molly and TJ haven't heard about what Christina saw Sonny do, and they will freak. TJ will, and that's probably going to be the thing, because because they've already nailed the nail into the wall, mother, with Jocelyn and Dex. Don't press charges on Sonny. You're going to kill the baby.
It's very interesting to me how all soap operas treat pregnancy like some very vintage, very delicate piece of a fragile china.
So with
it will
this,
break if you
listen,
blow on it.
With this particular pregnancy, absolutely it is stupid. I'm going to say it. It is stupid to be so worried about the minor stress that Christina is going through when it comes to this. Yes, is she invested? Yes, does she care? Does she care enough for it to be a problem for the baby? No. Seeing your dad beat up somebody who doesn't deserve it and having you go is not going to harm the baby.
Oh, it's good. Yes. Is it going to provide some anxiety in you? Anxiety just feels like fear. That's all it is.
This hasn't been a troubled pregnancy. She hasn't had any big issues. She has not been ordered to bed rest. She has not been ordered to chill out. She's not been ordered to do anything. She goes and she takes her pills and she has the sonograms. Everything is going perfectly fine. Life isn't stress-free. And if that is the story, if that is the story that they want, where it's like, like TJ and Molly are overly concerned, then they need to make it that story and make it so the audience knows and the cast says that Molly and TJ are being overly concerned. Because as it stands right now,
Christina needs to come up with some preeclampsia next week. She needs to come up with some elevated super high blood pressure.
Yeah.
She needs to get gestational diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's real, kind of like what Gregory had.
Yeah.
To make her have a child early.
Mm-hmm.
Not this, oh no, she's a delicate little flower pregnant. Come on.
No, it's diminutive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a little diminutive. So,
I've done it 3 times. I know what it's like to be pregnant.
Yeah. And even then, just being pregnant is probably more stressful than what she's feeling right now over watching Sonny do this. Like just the strain on your body
right now that she's afraid she ain't gonna make it to the bathroom.
Right. That's the main thing. I don't want to pee myself. Let's see here. I think Molly won't even be able to get into the NICU, says Jeannie, and that might be a thing.
It's a possibility.
Where it's just Christina and TJ who was allowed in there, and they fight.
Yeah.
Fight.
And wouldn't that be interesting that they're so worried, that he's so worried about fighting and stuff while the baby is floating around in water having a good time right now.
Yeah.
But maybe actually participating in it when the child's actually in the room.
Yes.
Like out in the room.
Jeannie says the thing is, surrogates have been happening for 35 years now, even when it's the sister doing it. I'm not sure exactly what that's trying to support argument-wise, Jeannie. I'm curious. About Molly? I'm not sure who that's in reference to. Give me more details. TJ and Molly need to realize that perhaps a cult survivor may be uncomfortable with being ordered around and controlled. That whole cult thing has been erased from Christina's history.
But just Christina's personality itself, though.
Mm-hmm.
Her personality. She's very opinionated.
Yeah.
Doesn't think through things before she says them sometimes. You know, she's very spontaneous sometimes. But
yes. Jeannie, yes, legalities are in place when it comes to surrogates. But the thing that this family didn't do is anything legal. They put TJ's juice in something and gave it to Christina. They didn't go to a clinic. They didn't go to a doctor. They didn't sign any documentation. So according to the letter of the law that exists right now with the procedure that these three people went through, TJ and Christina are the parents and only parents of this baby.
And Alexis did warn them about that.
Yes. Yeah. So
she did have a conversation with them.
Even if it's been going on for 35 years, even if they can explain to the doctor, oh, well, this is the agreement. If they don't have anything to support that, the doctor's hands are tied, because if they don't follow the rules, they don't get to be a doctor anymore. So I feel like that's going to be a big problem. And Jeannie, you know this. You said that she wouldn't be allowed in. So, you know, I don't have to convince you of anything.
I guess, you know, Christina, if she wanted to go this route, she could put herself down as mother and leave the father as unknown.
She could even do that. Absolutely. There's a lot of power in her hands right now, isn't there?
She does.
Mm-hmm. And this is a poor choice in the beginning, folks. This is a poor choice. This is why I said over a year ago, don't do this. Don't do this, original Molly. Don't do this.
That's why Alexis told him not to do it.
And then the second Molly came through and I said, Molly, second Molly, don't do this. Don't do this. And then the third Molly came through and I'm like, oh, really? You're too old for this. Get out. Yeah, I didn't say that.
No, and I knew it was baloney. I knew it was baloney when I saw it. But I saw, you know, oh, another Molly on this way. No way. They're not going to do that. No, this Molly is the Molly.
This is our Molly for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They did not do a turkey baster, says Jeannie. A doctor did it. Prove it. Prove it.
I actually remember that doctor. I do.
Prove it. What makes you think a doctor didn't just use the baster? Who is the doctor? What hospital did they go to?
It could very well have been just, you know, an insemination.
I mean, they could have inseminated herself and then gone to the doctor and been like, hey, we did this. What do you think? Like,
but I do think I remember her going to the doctor and for the procedure. And it worked.
Oh, I'm sure they used a doctor, because when it comes down to it, no. I mean, could you use the baster method and have success? Absolutely. But it is like the least percentage of success. Mm-hmm. Usually in these things, they release multiple eggs at a time and all sorts of different stuff, hoping that, you know, because there's a higher chance that one of them is going to attach. Because even then, you could have a fertilized egg that misses its attachment period. Whoosh, and then it's out. I don't know what, you know, the South thinks of that, but, you know.
And Christina went through a process where she was given medication to induce eggs and all that. She did. She had ovulation drugs and all that.
Okay, well, it all works. I missed the doctor thing. I forgot the doctor thing. Kelly says I'm being weird and she's out of here. I don't understand it. I don't see it myself. I think I'm being pretty normal. You think I'm being weird this week? Tell me the truth.
Guys, he's been a little bit weird since April 29th of 1986.
What's
bit
happening
weird.
is Kelly's becoming such a massive Angela fan that without Angela, she's losing a little taste for us. Losing a little taste. We gotta get Angela in here.
Kelly.
What if they run into the first surrogate at the NICU and TJ, Molly's baby, really survived? That would throw a wrench in there. It sure would, Cheryl. Absolutely would.
They could get two kids in one.
Two babies in one. TJ's like, I thought I had 0 and now I have 2. What am I gonna do? And then Molly's like, I'm too busy trying to prosecute Sonny. I don't got time to raise both of your kids, TJ.
Well, then, Helena could walk in and say, that baby's a Cassadine.
Baby's a Cassadine and she's mine.
I saw this week that it was Constance Towers' birthday.
Oh, is it? Well, congratulations, Constance Towers, on making another
91 years old.
Making it another year. That baby is alive, says Melissa. It probably is. That baby's out there somewhere, just waiting for story to appear.
Do you guys remember a movie from the 80s about a baby, and it's called It's Alive?
Yes.
In the first scene, It attacks the ice cream man and kills it. Because he has milk on board. Because he has milk on board.
Little monster baby. Craziness. Absolutely insanity. No, I'm familiar because I remember seeing the movie cover at Blockbuster all the time. I think it's like a mouth or something. I don't know, or then
it's a little hooky hand on the side of it.
Yeah. So there's that. And then Creep Show is another cover that I remember because like there's this monster mouth inside of another monster mouth. And I remember, being at Blockbuster as a little kid, right? And going through and seeing the covers of these VHSs. And those ones are some that I remember because apparently I was pretty freaked out.
A little bit scary for you.
Yeah, scary for me. Cheryl didn't see that movie, but hey, if you didn't and you want to, it's out there. If you don't like horror movies, especially like body horror monster movies, then you can skip it.
It's campy and stupid.
As the best ones are. ABC Movie of the Week, Cat. Says Jeannie. Oh gosh. In conclusion, Dante is facing exactly what Anna said he was going to.
Yeah. The scenes between with Dante and Sonny with this week were so good. So good.
Just Sonny, I'm using you to let you know what's going on in my life because my oldest kid and and Dante is just sitting there on the couch going, Stop speaking.
And he slammed his hand down like a Corinthos does,
Yes.
He did.
Why did you put me in this position?
Yes.
Sitting here confessing to me.
It was good.
What am I gonna do? Not arrest you? I'm a cop, Dad.
I don't know what Dante's gonna do.
He's gonna,
because he's been the last couple of weeks. He's been like, "Do I want to be a cop? Do I not?"
Because of this exact situation.
Because yes. And he brought up their history, but didn't put it right there in his dad's face of, you're capable of even shooting your kid.
Yeah, so this is something that, again, I continue to implore people who watch the show to just watch the show and let the show tell you the story that they're telling and all that kind of stuff. Because as soon as Dante and Anna have this conversation about this and compromise and and keep your distance and all that, they're like, but Sonny shot him and he testified. But Sonny shot him and he testified. But Sonny shot him and he testified. He lied already. He's already defended Sonny. Why is this a thing? Did he forget? Is the show forgotten? Are we just skipping this part of their history? How come he's having this complex after 20 years later of other choices? Why? Let the show tell you. And they did. Dante does remember what happened. It does feed into the decisions and the discomfort that he has, because I already have lied for you once, Dad. I don't want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
Basically saying, I want to be a good cop.
I want to be a good cop and not a compromised cop. Not a good cop 99% of the time. But when Sonny Corinthos comes along, I'm no longer a good cop.
Right. I mean, he's already mentioned to Anna, I don't want to touch any of my dad's cases. I don't want to have nothing to do with anything.
He wanted to quit entirely. And Anna was like, no, just don't do Sonny stuff. Just if Sonny comes to you, walk across the street. If you see him sauntering down and you got your badge on, turn the corner.
Yeah, if he's I think that Anna really believes if Dante can do this, you have a relationship with your dad and you have a relationship with Sonny, and they can't cross over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can't cross over.
Just like everybody, having the relationship with Sonny, but not the crime boss.
Right.
So many people now. Like the list goes on, and we have scene after scene because they're really selling this and establishing this duality of Sonny Corinthos.
I honestly think that Sonny needs to go to Sunnybrook or
Shady Brook.
Shady Brook. He needs to go to Shady Brook. He
Maybe he
does.
will.
Maybe he will, but he needs to stay in the Shady Brook.
He needs like a hardcore therapy.
He does. He needs to go to some man. If they can get Marlena Evans over for just a couple of episodes, she could cure him.
Just fix it. She's gonna fix it right up for you, Sonny. Just sit down and tell me a couple of sentences about your life. Oh, you're diagnosed and cured.
She's something else.
I think it'd be good. I think that would be good. Some intensive therapy for Sonny after this, because can they fix the problem by fixing his medication? Absolutely, but he still had weeks and weeks off of his meds, doing things, making choices that he won't be proud of when he realizes what's gone on. And
and my
that'll have an impact.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if Ava can find another friend or another ally ever with all this, because she's going to get blamed for everything.
Oh yeah.
And is she guilty? Yes, she is guilty, because she's known what kind of horrible drive to an accident he's on. She knows.
She didn't do it though.
She knows. I don't think she knows, but I don't think she's. I think she's kind of convinced herself that it's going to be a smaller caliber event than what she's really got in front of her.
I feel like I think that she's also still in like information gathering mode.
Mm-hmm.
Ava's not somebody. Ava's not reactive like Carly and Nina and all of them are. Like she's somebody that'll sit on something or make.
She's
a plan,
more calculated.
More calculating. So I think that she's still in info gathering. Like she went, something's off with these meds. She found out that the meds from the pharmacy were. I don't know how far into it. Like what she was. I can't really remember exactly what she got from the pharmacist, but she got something that continued that suspicion. But when it stands, she doesn't know who did it, why, what the goal is, and until she starts to learn that stuff, she's not going to act.
No, she's not going to, because right now it's beneficial to her.
It's beneficial to her. She also knows the relationships that she has with Sonny. Twofold. One, she thought it was changing and evolving, and then she learned very quickly that that's not the case. So, hey, Sonny, you're acting a little wild. Your meds are being tampered with, and I know this. You know this, Ava. You've been doing it again, just like you did to Morgan. And then she gets stabbed. Like, it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's dangerous to get involved right now until you know more info. So I can see Ava trying to take advantage of it, because that's what she does, but also keeping her distance because she doesn't know enough yet.
Right. But I don't think she realizes just the bomb she has in her hand.
It's good. Yeah, she doesn't quite know. Hi, Shauna.
She doesn't quite know.
Shauna says that they foreshadowed all of this when Dante was shot so many years ago and thought he was going to die. Oh, no, this was recent. When he was shot recently and thought he was going to die. Sonny told Ava that Dante arresting Jim, or do you mean him, would be the proudest day of his life. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you mean Jim or him. I don't know who Jim is, so it's probably him. That Dante arresting Sonny would be the proudest day in Dante's life, and I don't think he's going to be proud.
He's actually arrested his father before, but he's just squirmed out of it.
Yeah.
Dante's put cuffs on his dad before.
Yeah, and maybe he'll do it with more intent this time.
Yeah.
And will he be proud? He might be proud at the end of it, but while he's doing it, he's going to be really conflicted.
Well, Sonny is, the whole I'm going to empty a gun in Dex's and Jason's heads.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different Sonny than we normally see. And we known in the past that Sonny's capable of that? Yeah. But he's never been so volatile that he's threatening to shoot people in the head in a public place.
Dex and Jason and all that. And remember, we talked about it last week. That is really what Christina was reacting to. Not necessarily, oh my God, my dad is capable of this. No, my dad is capable of this to people he said he's loved. You know, somebody that's important to his stepdaughter. Oh, it's different. It's different. Claudia shot Michael and did all kind like list the things that Claudia did to Sonny, which is the thing that Christina had historically witnessed before, was Sonny reading Claudia, the riot act, and which at the end of it, Claudia pulled a gun, threatened to shoot everybody, and escaped. It was a really, really different situation. So they showed it.
And you know, it would have even been a little slightly different of a situation if Christina had seen Dex fight back.
Oh, one of the proudest days of Sonny's life. Sonny will be proud when Dante arrests him. There we go, Shauna. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It's intense. It's one of those fun kind of crossroads of the story where I don't really know what we're gonna get. I don't know what direction things are gonna take. You know, and clearly Dante is gonna have some issue. Who knows what role Sam might be playing in things? How this is going to feed into larger narratives? It's exciting.
It is. It's fun to watch right now, that's for sure.
It really is. It really is. Dante can put a 5150 hold on Sonny. Maybe. He would definitely feel very betrayed at that point.
Oh my goodness, he'd come up a swinging too. Sonny would try.
He's gonna get highball glasses and write Michael, Dante, Carly, and just.
You know, I think that Ava. But you know, we saw her manipulating Sonny last. I don't know. It's Friday. Was it Friday? She's gonna have him in the sack next week.
She got to do something to continue the bond, right? Because Sonny started the stiff armor. Well, I've got to increase something. I got to increase my allure, my necessity for the home. I got to sack him before he climbs into bed with Natalia.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? Because Natalia is not a likable character, and she's not supposed to be. She gets burned a little bit by Sonny. I won't be too sad about that.
Oh no. I think there's a lot more to Natalia that we don't know though.
Oh, I think so too.
A depth of danger there that we haven't.
And there has to be. There has to be a lot more to Natalia. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Do not waste Ava LaRue like you did Kim Delaney. Well,
Kim Delaney, mother, I don't know if you know this. Kim Delaney found herself in some drunken car accident trouble too that just was not as widely publicized as Haley Poulos's. So that seems to be the main catalyst as to why Kim Delaney disappeared and never came back, is because of some legal trouble that she ran into. So,
well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I get it. The sentiment, though, the mentality behind your statement of let's do a good job, let's not waste the potential here, is a totally valid note, though. There's no reason to waste potential. We got Cyrus on the cast. We got Ted, Michael E. Knight. We got some really legendary actors that are on the show that necessarily aren't being used to their fullest potential. So I'm totally with you on that. Totally with you. Natalia's an Alcazar in some way. Promises, Rochelle.
We hope so. Hope so. I love it. I want her kid to come too. I want Enzo to come too. Yeah. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that he's actually supposed to be older than Blaze, not younger.
Yes. Yeah. Eloy or whatever his name is. Eloy? Yeah. He's going to be older. So
Eloy.
Eloy. Yeah. So he's the one that's finally going to get Willow to cheat on Michael.
Or maybe be Trina's older man.
Someone on Twitter posted the hope that Natalia could be Pikeman. We know who Pikeman is. Pikeman is Jack and Valentine. We're not going to get a surprise.
I don't think so either.
It was Natalia all along. We're not.
Now we might get a surprise of somebody that knew it.
Yeah, I think Jerry Jack's hanging out in the wings somewhere, right?
Yeah, we might get that. But I think Matt's right. I think our Pikeman is Brennan and Valentine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I understand kind of grasping for things that exist out there and trying to associate a character with it, trying to figure out what the long term plan might be. Totally understandable, totally normal. Even then, even all that like boss as a girl stuff wasn't Pikeman. It was Pikeman adjacent. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying no.
I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that Valentine shot Austin point blank.
I wouldn't be surprised at that either. Liz will need a moon man soon, and Eloy will be perfect for her. See, that's exactly what we were talking about on the Days of Our Lives podcast, Ma. Was the immortal nature of Rebecca Herbst.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you can stick somebody that's 28 to 42 with her.
You're right, Matt. That girl doesn't age. And you know what's actually a little bit more surprising? A couple of things a little more surprising to me that she doesn't. She doesn't look like she's had a bunch of procedures either. Has she had Botox, this and that? Probably. Does she look like she's had procedures? No, she does not look like
Best work is invisible.
Yeah. I don't think she really has. She does look incredibly young. She does.
Maybe an Italian is Pikeman's lover, says Cheryl. Hey, you know what? Maybe. But I think the most important thing that we should all take from this conversation today is that Pikeman isn't a character. Pikeman is a company that is run by characters. So is Pikeman is the CEO of Pikeman, is in control of Pikeman, is I think the sentiment behind that. So Natalia is the CEO of Pikeman's lover, Jack Brennan's secret wife.
Oh, I do think you're right about there being more facets to Natalia than what we've seen so far. Yeah. I don't think many of them are going to be good, though.
Well, I'm satisfied, Ma. I'm satisfied with this.
Yeah, and I got a big shindig to go to this afternoon.
You do. You got a big old party to go to. So
I got a big old party to go to. We're going to leave in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, Blink says Kim did it herself, and you're absolutely right. But that's it. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go back onto the elevator. I'm going to do a quick sign out because, Ma, I got to pee like crazy. We're going to go into the elevator, go back down to the first floor, get into the parking garage. You're perfectly safe. Everybody is sad right now in their feelings and in their memories. Turn your radios to previous episodes of The 10th Floor, which you can find on all your favorite podcasting platforms. If you can't find it on your favorite podcasting platform, reach out to us on Twitter at 10th Floor GH, and I will send you in the right direction. While you're there, follow the account, and let's talk about soaps all week long. We'll be back 9 a.m. next Sunday, probably Thursday as well for a skinny dip. So just pay attention. Pay attention to the schedule. We'll let you know what's going on there. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Kelly, we'll see you next week. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next week right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye, everybody. Have fun at the soiree. Have a happy day. Happy Memorial Day. Have fun at your party, Cat. Happy Memorial Day, y'all. Have a great couple of days. R.I.P. Gregory. Much love, y'all. There's your sign out from the chat. Goodbye.